Welcome to Real Women Real Estate episode 22, Building a One-Stop Real Estate Shop with Tamon Williams.
Whoop,
Hey,
whoop.
everyone.
All right. How's everybody doing? All right.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is going to be a great episode, as always. We got a quote for you guys, and this one is personally inspired by a documentary I watched this weekend. The quote is, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced." And that is by the incomparable James Baldwin.
Can't wait to watch it.
Yes, the documentary was I Am Not Your Negro. I recommend everyone go watch it. It's super relevant during these times.
Great watch.
Will do.
So let me introduce this special guest that we have, Mr. Tamon Williams, who is CEO of T&T Construction and Rochelle Marquis Properties. Mr. Williams is a master of all trades when it comes to real estate, an 18-year real estate veteran with experience in architecture, general contracting, property management, and investing, and most recently, a licensed broker. Tamon has successfully created a one-stop real estate shop, providing services that include buying, selling, building, and rehabbing property. It is Tamon's belief that there is a lack of knowledge in our communities regarding how real estate can be used to generate wealth, and is dedicated to educating communities on the benefits of investing in real estate. Welcome to Real Women Real Estate, Mr. Williams.
Thank you guys for having me.
Great to have you on, Tamon.
Absolutely, man. I'm honored. You guys are doing an amazing thing, educating the community, you all yourself and whatnot. So I'm honored to be aboard and love what you guys are doing.
Awesome.
Absolutely. We're super honored to have you. So let's jump right in, because in that bio, we mentioned that you are an architect, a general contractor, an investor, a realtor, a broker, also a property management expert. So number one, what don't you do?
Right.
How do you do it all?
Well, I don't do lending, I don't do insurance or title
Mortgage.
work,
There it is. But you don't.
but I can recommend a few people in those areas or whatnot that, like I said, that can help you all out. Help you
Right.
out.
Absolutely.
Should probably put a yet there, because it kind of seems like you the type of person that
Appreciate it.
yeah, if you see it, the value, you're gonna do it. So, can you just explain to us how you got your start?
Oh man, I guess I'll go through. I have a long version of how I got my start. I guess, man, honestly, if I really talk about it, I go all the way back to.
Wait. Don't go through the long version.
Well, you got to get to know kind of how you get to do everything, right?
Go through the version, but
The clip notes.
give us the clip notes of that
The
long
clip
version.
notes version.
Yeah, no, I'll try to keep it short. No, honestly. Whatnot. But yeah, no, I guess you started back in, working with my grandfather back in summertimes in Alabama. He was a carpenter. He did projects all the time or whatnot. And when I would go down for the summer, it was cool to get, gain skills and crafting skills and stuff, craftsmanship skills like that, working with him. But I think besides that, I think what attracted me to it, was, with him, it was, working for all of the different people. He was a stranger to no one. A lot of people had a lot of gratitude for, the things he had done and, helping them out with stuff. So I think that's attracted me to it. And then, you guys knew me in high school. I knew at that point in time I wanted to do something in the realm of architecture. Lamar Redskins, we had a good program of design, the drafting design program that I fell in love with my freshman year, where I competed and did different competitions. And I feel like I was pretty good at it. So I went on to architecture school, decided to go up to Hampton University in Virginia, and realized architecture was a real program. And so, but I also realized at the same time, it's a diverse industry, and I didn't necessarily have to burn the midnight oil in the in somebody's office, to become successful in the way that I wanted to. So while I do have an architectural degree, I'm not actually a licensed architect. Upon graduation, I explored residential construction. I was fortunate enough to start a program, a management training program with Ryland Homes in Atlanta. And that was really key to my educational experience of what I do today. Like I said, I rotated through the different facets of the home and building industry. I did stints in sales, production, purchasing, customer service, product development, and like I said, yeah, that kind of put me, you know, kind of open my mind to all the different things that, you know, architecture or construction, you know, what I can do with it. Of course, you all know in 2008, the market crashed or whatnot, and that actually gave me an opportunity to come back here to Houston and actually taught some of the courses I started in with architecture at Lamar High School or whatnot. And during this time, my entrepreneurial spirit kicked in. I just decided to start my general contracting company, TNT Construction, which I still run and operate today. That started off with like the covered patio of my parents' backyard, and I put a Craigslist ad up. And started going from there. And then 2015, I decided to get my real estate license and explore some opportunities there, which led to me getting my brokerage license last year. And yeah, that's why I'm here, where I'm at.
That's awesome. That's just like amazing that you knew what you wanted to do from the start, because so many people get into real estate, not as an afterthought, but you know, as a lot of times it's kind of seeing and learning and exploring generational wealth and understanding what real estate can do for you, and then they kind of go into the real estate, you know, realm and to start to explore it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But it seems like you kind of knew from jump. You know, you liked the structural piece of it, and so it was just a natural progression for you.
It was,
That's
honest to
awesome.
goodness. I think, you know, kind of, you know, I'm the type of person, I just kind of walk in my own, you know, lane and my own path. And so, you know, everything that I've kind of done up until this point has kind of created a brand and kind of, you know, followed me through from high school all the way to where I am today. So I attribute a lot of that to my success and kind of what I'm doing. It is a blessing, you know, to kind of have had that, you know, work out and play out that way.
We
That's
are
awesome.
both Jane and Jack of all trades.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, so we have a lot of real estate agent listeners and guests. Can you explain what a broker does versus what an agent does? Because I feel like a lot of times they don't. For a lot of our listeners that are new to investing and new to real estate, they may not know what the difference is. So explain the difference to our audience, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I can kind of explain it like, you know, an agent basically, you know, they are licensed by a state to facilitate real estate transactions for a broker or a brokerage. They have to do that under a broker or brokerage's license. As a broker, I guess you can act as an independent agent on your own, or you can have other agents. What's unique about it, what I like about it, is actually you can broaden your reach, you know, per se, you know, by having other agents, you know, that work with you to, you know, reach, you know, several different projects and different things and different clients along the way, and whatnot. So yeah, I guess the major difference is, again, the agent, you know, has to work underneath the brokerage license, and once you become a broker, I guess you're experienced enough. They consider you experienced enough to be able to work as an independent agent or to continue.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of that. So like in Texas, I think you have to be an agent for 5 years before you can become a broker. And in California, you have to be an agent for 2 years before you can become a broker. Wow. And there's a lot more risk. The exam, it's a separate exam, right? And that exam is a lot more in depth. So you're talking about like a 4-hour exam for just to be an agent. But that broker exam is like 8 hours and some change. There's a lunch break or something in the middle that needs to be monitored, right?
Wow.
Exactly. Yeah. And then you go back to the second part of that exam. So just a little more entail and a lot more risk.
Yeah, absolutely. Risk is definitely.
Your fees are a lot more. So you
fees a lot more. You maintain insurance. You know, you are responsible for it all, right? So absolutely, yeah. So
definitely a lot more. You pay. It's distinction that you definitely work hard for. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Yeah. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
So outside of the fees and like having to maintain insurance, can you tell us some of the other cons and of course some pros of becoming a broker? And then also, can you explain how someone would go about becoming a broker if they already are real estate? How would they go ahead and take that next step?
Okay, yeah, you know, like, you know, Courtney said, like I said, getting a broker's license is different from state to state or whatnot. Here in Texas, like I said, I don't know if this is the politically correct thing to say, but, you know, like I said, I would say it's actually relatively I wouldn't say easy, but, you know, like I said, it's a part of, you know, the process. You know, if you're actually active and engaged in real estate, after, you know, you do 4 years experience, and then there's a certain amount of transactions, of course, that you have to be able to complete. So it means you have to be active and actually doing some things. You know, you get to sit for, you know, a very similar exam in Texas. I think the exam was actually really similar to the real estate license exam. It was obviously longer. It was a little bit longer, extra questions. But a lot of the stuff, you know, like I said, this between you do just a state exam and then a local exam, you know, just the same way. It's just, you know, added questions. But, you know, that's how you actually, to get your broker's license while you're a broker, right? But actually being a broker to somebody, I think, is actually a little bit different. I think, you know, being a broker to someone, not only do you have to be extremely knowledgeable, you have to be experienced and have the ability and willingness to share that knowledge and experience with your agents. You have to be available. You have to be accessible, which takes a lot of sacrifice. And, you know, truth be told, man, I think you just kind of have to love being that person, you know, being that person to other people and, you know, working with others. So I think that kind of fits my bill. That's the pro and the con of it, right? Because, you know, it's great, you know, it's a great feeling helping others reach their goals and build their wealth. It feels good hearing stories and watching your friends and colleagues excel in life using some of the financial freedoms that real estate is created for. That's also, too, right? The weight of all their responsibility is yours, all their success, all their failures as well. You know, you question yourself, am I training right? Am I doing this right? Or should I have shown this? Well, you know, what can it be? So I think that's the pros, I guess, and cons of what it is. And again, you know, can't reiterate enough, the responsibility is serious. And
yeah,
aspects of it.
Definitely sounds like it. So it sounds like, you know, strong leadership skills are needed, probably like a must. Like,
yeah,
if you're in it for selfish gain, you're not gonna make it very far.
Not at all.
Right.
Not at all. Absolutely. It's about building a team. And honest to goodness, you know, I think that's what's cool about being a broker. Like, you know, it's the one business that I feel like, you know, my success is, you know, created on how successful I make others around me. I'm not taking from those around me. I'm actually helping others around me build, and that, you know, helps build my success. So I think it's a unique model.
That's just key. I just want to stop right there because that's just key. I recently started working with a new mentor, and the time and the effort that he is just kind of giving to me. And, you know, even if he just hears me talking to a client and just says, stop, can you come to the office tomorrow? Like, don't talk to that client. Like, here, let me give you this presentation so that next time it's just smooth and flowing. But that availability and that willingness to be able to give, not all leaders have that. And I don't know that if it's innate or if it's taught, but there's something within you that just wants to share and give that knowledge without wanting to receive anything in return. You know what I mean? Or knowing that you're planting seeds in that relationship and watching them grow is your return. So that's
thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So how has your risk increased being a broker? I know you take on everything, right? So you take on the responsibility of everything. What is your risk is what as a broker though? Versus
so, you know, as a broker, you know, your risk, I mean, like I said, it definitely increases exponentially. As an agent, you know, you're working under somebody else's, you know, license. You're writing deals in their names. You're writing, you know, everything when it comes to tied to your brand, everything you're doing for that other company. So there is a certain level of responsibility for an agent, but as a broker, you know, like I said, the bottom line falls with you. If a client, you know, has a bad experience or something goes awry with the contract or a deal or whatnot, it falls on the brokerage. Legally, you're tied to it. People don't sue that they can sue the individual agent, obviously, or whatnot, but they can sue the brokerage as well or whatnot. So everything kind of, you know, falls back on you. You know, that's what I would say, you know, kind of the biggest risk again that you end up taking. You step out there and whatnot, it's definitely a little bit different than, you know, rocking and rolling and just being responsible for yourself and the deals that you're putting out there. Yeah.
So you need to be able to manage your sales agents, right?
Oh, absolutely. You know, like I said, the back office, you know, you have to have everything, you're organized, you know, you want, you know, all, you know, you have to make sure your agents are dotting their I's and crossing all their T's, making sure they have all the paperwork is coming in or whatnot. I'm actually in the process of training, you know, an office manager, you know, because of, you know, all of this, like I said, again, doing my own, you know, keeping my own stuff organized is one thing. But again, when you got 6 agents or 6 other people that you're trying to make sure you have all the files for, you keeping up with for, you know, I think legally you have to keep everything for over 4 years or whatnot. So, you know, maintaining all those documents in one place or whatnot. It's definitely key.
That's what's up. So let's shift gears a little bit
to my favorite question.
Kim is about that money. She wants to know about the investments.
Okay.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what your personal real estate investment portfolio looks like? And then also, if you don't mind sharing some of your short-term and long-term investment goals.
So before you even go on that, you're the very first person I knew personally that was going to the auctions like years ago. I still yet to make it. Ebony and I both said we want to go to the auctions. I have still not made. I just told Jasper the other day I want to go to a First Tuesday here in Texas.
Well, I'm planning on being there next month again myself. Working on some of my short term.
I'm coming with you. I'm coming with you.
Absolutely, man. Nah, man, like you said, that's funny. As far as my personal investments, I have, a few rental properties, had a few rental properties. We have some family properties we hold and lease out. I've done a number of flips, a number of hold, then flip, new construction projects that I've completed inside and outside of Houston. But I would say, like anybody else in this business, working on attaining their wealth, like I said, it's a work in progress. I'm constantly in search of new deals, like I said, and those come from everywhere. Yeah, you have to put the boots on the ground. It's going to those auctions, knocking on doors, trying to find those deals. The MLS, one of the advantages of having a real estate license, I think, is you get firsthand deals at a lot of the deals that come across the table. You get a chance to see those things. So those are good. As far as, I guess my investment goals, I guess my goal is to, continue to build my portfolio. Something that my girls, I have two girls, something that they can utilize to navigate life, takes advantage of some of those financial freedoms that I'm trying to create for them. I look forward to that dilemma, one day, whether or not to liquidate a property out of the portfolio, pay for their college tuition, or being in a position to purchase a property around campus, so they can live in and then lease out rooms, to their roommates, and maybe dibble and dabble in this real estate thing, and, different stuff like that. So, yeah. I think real estate, it's a long-term thing. People don't realize, people don't want to jump in and, hit a home run on every single deal. It doesn't always work like that, or whatnot. But if like I said, if you steadfast and, continue to do it, like I said, man, it's something that absolutely, is achievable where anybody can attain wealth going through the real estate route. Yeah.
I have a quick question. So I want to unpack some of the stuff that you said. So just in regards to the market and the Houston market. So tell us a little bit about what's going on in the market right now, kind of what you're seeing in regards to deals, and what are some of the areas that you're seeing good deals in.
Okay,
Wait, Missouri City, right? Because that's
I have particular fond experience with Missouri City, and me and Kim are working on a few things, and she allowed me to speak about it. And there's a few deals that we're looking at out that way. But a lot of the some of the a lot of the stuff that's happening in Houston is around that 610 loop. Houston, I think, is a unique market. It's one of those markets that's steady, that's consistently steady, I believe. But we do, we have seasonal. It's a seasonal game. Of course, with all this stuff with COVID-19 and everything else going on around us, this market is kind of, been interesting to watch. Things have seemed to pick up. Of course, we're walking into the summer months, a hot season and things of that nature. We're in a situation where, honest to goodness, I'm working with clients where we're having to bid on properties, do highest and best situations on a lot of properties. So it's a lot less sellers out on the market trying to sell their property. There's a lot more buyers. Whatnot. So it's things are happening here in Houston or whatnot. And then I'm also encouraging myself, like, that was actually a good time to list, going into the market. So out here, there's hot areas all over Houston. That's one of the things about us. We have land, right? I conduct a lot of my business, along the southwest, southeast side of Houston. But of course, I work deals on the north side and northwest and northeast side as well. But some of those hot areas, around the 610 loop, Sunnyside, South Park is booming right now for Houston.
Shout out to South Park.
Yeah, absolutely.
Texas.
Fifth Ward, there's some areas booming out there. I can give you zip codes in those areas for days, that I think are good.
Yeah. How I kind of look at it? I kind of look at it like, you're sitting in that appreciation, realm, or you're sitting in, where you're kind of getting either equity or appreciation. I call them like a A, B, and C class, right? Yeah. Or you're kind of sitting in the equity and cash flow, or you're just only looking at cash flow. There's no equity right now because it's just not jumping up in value, right now.
Yeah, and and that's that's the unique thing about Houston. Like I said, when you really break real estate down, you have markets within the markets, right? So you have the entry level market of homes, that's going on. Absolutely, and the price points in Houston go from anywhere from 200,000 all the way up to millions, 1.2, 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, different stuff like that. And each one of those markets, I think is there's successful agents doing things in all of those markets. Or whatnot. So I think Houston is very unique when it comes to playing this real estate game in that aspect. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great. So on to Kim's. I'm speaking for Kim's second favorite topic, which is contracting. And when we first started working on this, she was like, "Yeah, I know somebody who's a contractor," and I was like, "Let's pick his brain." So super excited we get to finally do this. So this is kind of like an ongoing debate, is that it's hard to find a good contractor.
Oh God.
Absolutely.
It's hard for them to stay and finish a project because they've got 50 million projects going on.
The good ones.
Build the team so that it's your team, or how do I have it so that it's not my general contractor is not halting my projects because they've already gotten most of the money to go finish another project that they need to start and they're behind schedule on. And we're going to get back to you because you're almost done type of thing. Like, how do you navigate between the multiple projects? And especially if you're doing something like a flip with someone and they're on a, they have a hard money
timeline. Yeah, absolutely. Timeline, absolutely.
You over here lollygagging on somebody else's project.
He triggered Kim.
No, I mean, like I said, those are the walls of construction, right? That's a loaded question. Like I said, I think
that's like 5 questions.
Yeah, a lot of questions. I mean, I think, like I said, for me, the advantage of me is that time and experience and how long I've been doing it. Not necessarily that makes me more educated to doing some of this stuff than anybody else, but it's actually gave us that I work with. I think that goes a long way. When it comes to rehab and stuff, you're only strong as your team, your weakest link in your team. So if you got a bad trim guy and everybody else is on point, that's not a good on your back end trying to sell the property. But that goes along with it. Finding contractors, man, I think it just takes that. You have to get your boots on the ground. When I'm looking at contractors, first thing I'm looking at, I know it's kind of funny to say it, but do you have the tools to do the job? Like I said, they don't have the tools, to do the job, and they're likely not qualified to do the job. Everybody will tell you that they can do something. But if you can't show me, via, some references, some past work, something like that, then, like I said, I can't afford to let you test it out on me. So that's like I said, and like I said again, like that comes with years of experience. Like I said, I've worked with some shoddy contractors, and I've got some great ones that I've been working with for years, over time or whatnot. And that, like I said, that relationship, like I said, over time kind of grows, and people understand, you have the same common goal. So people trust you, and people are willing to work with you. Like I said, you can get yourself out of certain disasters that might pop up. And actually get to the end all be all goal. And like I said, again, all I can really put that on is really fostering those relationships with those guys. It takes experience and time to do that.
Okay, so I'm just, for y'all listening, if y'all were making a list of what to look for experience, make sure they got the tools, ask for some pictures, ask for some references.
And have a number of different contractors. Like I said, there are situations, the good ones, they get busy. And, there's times when I might call it one, I need you to be here, but can't make it. So, having multiple guys that you can lean on or whatnot. Again, that's just over time you build up, you build up your contact list and, different ones that you can put out there and be able to utilize for different things. Yeah.
So what if I was just like, I'm tired of relying on other people. I want to be a contractor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what would be step one for me? I mean, I get rid of my nails. You know, what's up? Get a hammer, let's go.
Well, that's funny. You know, like I said, I was going to educate. I mean, there's a lot of ways, man, to educate yourself on how you want to be a contractor. You know, it's funny, you know, people laugh at it, but YouTube is one of the greatest educators out there. You know, I feel like I can change the alternator on my truck, you know, no mechanical skills at all, but watch YouTube video, I can make it happen, right? You know, like I said, my background, I was able to, you know, gain over the years in architecture school and, you know, working with people in the past and stuff like that. I can, you know, I can do a lot of the work myself, but I always tell myself, you know, if I end up having to, I have tools, but if I have to use them, it means I didn't manage something right, 9 times out of 10. So, you know, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to pull them jokers out the back of the truck and, you know, get in there and get done what needs to happen. That's just a part of the game. So yeah, be ready to roll your sleeves up and do get dirty. And well, and then like I said again, it's about getting out building false relationships. You can't be a contractor and not know anybody. Or whatnot. Like I said, you can you know, it's always key to be able to reach out to somebody, and people know people. So, you know, I see people doing it all the time on Facebook and everything else, but I'm kind of old school. I rely on my phone. I'd rather call, you know, let me get you on the phone. I don't want to wait on the message. I'm trying to see, hey, do you have this person? I need this done. And, you know, that's kind of how we work.
Yeah. Pick up the phone.
Right.
Pick up the phone.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say maybe I don't necessarily want to be a whole contractor, but I just want to rehab a house, or maybe I want to work with a contractor to rehab a house. What are some costs that I should be aware of if I'm starting to rehab?
You know, again, like I said, every project is different. Like I said, that's one of those things when I get people to come to me all the time just because of my background, you know, because they've seen how to flip houses, different ones, or different things like that. And they're like, hey, I want to, you know, flip a house. Well, you know, like I said, that sounds all well and good. And that might be the case. You know, you have to kind of look at the market. Is there a property or project available for you right now that, you know, your ideal of what you're saying flip a house might look like? So being aware up front of, you know, the actual project that you're going into. It's not just, you know, hey, I'll pick up a house at this price and then I'm gonna budget this amount to go into it. And, you know, while I sell magically for this, you got to look at the markets. It's again about building that team. I think, you know, you want to have a good realtor, a good agent on your side, somebody that's watching the market constantly for you, helping you find those deals that might work for you. Being able to have that team, you know, those contractors on call, you know, when you actually go and view a property, bring that contractor with you. Let's see how much you think it's gonna cost me to, you know, do this bathroom or do the things that I need to do in this house. Again, like I said, when it comes to that team, that, you know, having that agent that puts you in that option period gives you time to actually explore it, figure out if it's a good deal for you. I think doing, you know, if you do your homework up front and really, really, you know, be honest with yourself about the numbers when it comes down to it and put everything right on paper, then it typically works out on the back end of things or whatnot. So, yeah, like I said, again, it's about having that team, putting those people in place, all those guys, your lenders, your agents, your contractors, and everybody be on the same page. I think that, you know, puts you in the best position to actually, if you want to get into flipping and holding or whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Like Courtney always says, you got to have your list of people.
Gotta have your team. And I love what you said. I went out to a property this weekend and the guy was just like, I'm bringing my contractor out. And the first thing they noticed was the cracks in the ground, and it was foundation. And he estimated the cost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
$10,000 to $20,000 worth of foundation. This is not a good investment property.
Right. You can't guess. You know, I know a foundation. I did that for, you know, $5,000 one time. It don't work like that. You know, every situation is different. So absolutely, having those people to come out and see it right then and there, that's critical. Yeah.
And it sounds like you have to be willing to walk away. Like,
yes.
You can't squeeze blood out of a turnip, you know?
Absolutely. All deals are not good deals. Yeah. Right. You know, I say that too. At the end of the day, I think I've always said too, you know, in real estate, you know, there's no such thing as bad deal. Like it may take you a little longer to recoup your money. It means you might have to hold a property or anything else. It's still a safer investment, but yeah, absolutely. All deals are not good deals for what it is that you're trying to do at the time. Yeah. So yeah, you have to be, you probably walk away from 4 or 5 properties before you actually snag that one that's going to be that one for you. Yeah.
That's good advice. That's solid advice.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. Well, our next question is just, so and we kind of talked about it a little bit, but just about hidden cost. So if you're going to, look at an investment property, you know how I was just describing the example of the foundation. What are some things we should look at when going to look at an investment property immediately that are going to be like high dollar costs? Is it roof? Is it, piping? Like what should we as a consumer, educate us on what we should look at?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I think you actually kind of touched on some of the major things. Like I said, your foundation, your roof. I always, some of the first things I look at walking up to a property is the foundation and the roof, because those are going to be some heavy hitting costs and whatnot. And typically, again, if I'm, depending on what I'm getting into the property for, if I'm going to look to flip the property, a roof is one of the first things buyers, kind of walk up and see. So I know that's something I need to actually repair and do right, 9 times out of 10 if it's all needs to be replaced. And then your major mechanicals is another one. Like I said, those are your hidden costs, your plumbing, your, your HVAC, and your electrical, making sure your panels are up to date. All of those things are, those hidden factors where you can walk in the house and be like, immediately everybody mind wants to jump to, oh, I'm gonna do this with the kitchen, I'm gonna do this with the bathroom, and this is what's gonna work out like this. And, like I said, sometimes those are actually those variable costs that, you can control or whatnot. But some of those other ones, like I said, your HVAC is out, like I said, there's no getting around it. You need to get that done, you know what I mean? Your plumbing, if there's, plumbing issues, you need to take care of that galvanized plumbing, get that out of there, or whatnot. So those are some of your major costs I think that everybody should be aware of. Those are definitely the ones that I look at going into the projects. Like I said, foundation, roof, and my major mechanicals. Your plumbing, your HVAC, and your and cosmetic stuff. We can.
My last question on this, and then I promise I'm going to get out. As just a person that doesn't know about construction, is there something that I can see on the roof that I know that this is bad? Like, what do I look for?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really
on the roof, when you're going up to it, you can look at a roof. You're looking for mission shingles. You're looking for, major discoloration. Like I said, of course, we're in Houston, this heat is atrocious. But if your roof, and your neighbor's roof, yours has, splotches and stains all across it and sagging, areas in it, and that roof needs to be painted, no patching that up. Or whatnot. So, like I said, of course, again, I recommend, an actual contractor come out and look at every project, like I said, before anybody do it. But, absolutely, those are some of the things that you want to look at and give yourself, okay, at least I know I need to explore what I'm going to do with this prior to, me jumping into this considerably. Whatnot, because like I said, there have been roofs I've looked at from the ground and then, been able to, come back and say, okay, maybe I don't have to replace that right now or, whatever the situation may be. But again, that's on a case-by-case basis.
Okay.
Well,
go ahead.
What is, out of all aspects of your business, which one is you like doing the most?
I
was thinking that, Kim. I was thinking that out of everything you do, like what gives you the most gratification?
Right.
Like I said, I like doing what I do. I've gotten to the point where I kind of, I'm picky about the projects that I take on and everything else. So I enjoy it all. But, truth be told, like I said, if people ask me today, what I like doing the most, like I said, right now I'm truly focused on building this brokerage. So Rochelle Marquee Properties is, the brand that I'm focused on building. And I think, it's something I get a lot of joy out of. Like I said, I'm a people person, if anybody knows me or whatnot. So, it's funny, like I said, building those relationships with my agents. Majority of my agents on my team I've known from high school, been friends forever, clients that I've worked with in the past, and those are the ones that are coming on with me. And, watching them kind of grow and see, like, I get pleasure out of, other people succeeding and doing well. So I think that's what I'm truly, truly focused in. When it comes to construction, I still, it's something that's followed me since I graduated college and whatnot. The first thing people actually, it's funny, while I'm building my brokerage, people typically don't call me and say, hey, I'm looking to purchase this property. They call me and say, hey, Tamon, I'm looking at this project, what do you think it's going to cost me to do this? It's something I've always, been, part of, and I would like to say I'm good at it. So it follows me, and I'm whatnot, and I do well in that as well. But real estate and my brokerage has kind of taken off over the last couple of years, and that's been my my bread and butter winner. So.
Yeah, I saw Wayne was one of your realtors and didn't even know that.
Yeah, one of my.
I saw his name on the list. I was like, oh, okay, Wayne.
Stuff to do. I still got to, I got to get on Photoshop, put my little pictures, my things. I got 2 more agents that are good friends. Wayne being one of them. You know, Wayne and I've known each other since, you know, elementary school, in middle school and whatnot, you know, best friends. So yeah, absolutely. Still need to make that announcement on Facebook. But yeah, absolutely.
So switching gears a little bit, I know that you personally manage some Airbnb rather, properties. And so, you know, there's been, I know I've personally done some marketing campaigns to Airbnbs. And so I'm wondering how they're doing, like during this pandemic. How are they performing? Is it like people are offloading Airbnbs and this is a good time for an investor to kind of get in and purchase an Airbnb? Or are Airbnbs like booming right now? Are people still going to Airbnbs?
That's a great question. Yeah, I've had some, you know, relationships over the past with clients and whatnot where they trust me to manage their properties and try to help them maximize the potential out of them. I would say in the last, you know, 2 or 3 years, I think, you know, Airbnb has, you know, definitely hit stride and has been a big thing. So that's why I kind of dabbled and dabbled in and really trying to help, you know, some of my clients maximize their potential. So I've had, you know, 2 properties that I've managed. Airbnb up until, you know, a lot of this pandemic stuff. In those particular instances, my personal ones that I managed, and both of them, we decided to explore long-term leasing options. We're not going back into that just because of the slowdown with everything.
So what you're saying is it's no longer short-term Airbnbs. Now you're focusing that particular homeowner is now going back to long-term leasing because that business just they don't see it, you know, being a little more difficult to continue that cash flow. Is that what you're saying?
Right, exactly. Yeah, to kind of continue the current cash flow that she was bringing in. Like I said, while at the time, you know, it was actually bringing in a little bit more than what a long-term lease could do over the past couple of years. Like I said, with the slowdown and, you know, the unknown of what's going to happen and whatnot for her investment portfolio, you know, she's rather bank on something a little bit more certain, you know, than, you know, to take the chances of, you know, having a few days, you know, here and there. The other one, same thing with the other client. Actually, we ended up putting the house back on the market for sale, and it's actually hopefully closing next Wednesday. So kudos to that client for doing that. But I also, you know, work with different ones, and I, you know, like I said, while every property is different, I believe there's still a thriving market for some of the home sharing platforms or whatnot. Those properties are usually unique in location. You know, they typically have some unique and interesting things about them. So if you're getting into that game, I think you just have to be, you know, do your research. You know, what's happening in certain areas, certain markets. Or whatnot. I'm actually dealing with I had a conversation with a higher profile client who has properties or whatnot, who's still thinking about going that realm just based off, you know, the network and the people that, you know, will be willing to come to the property. So yeah, absolutely. You know, there's still some of those home sharing platforms out there. And again, it's just different. Every client's different, every portfolio is different, and what people's long-term and short-term goals are different. So, and the one, like I said, and the ones that I've done, you know, they've kind of because of the COVID-19 and everything else, have decided to kind of revisit, you know, the plan and kind of take other strategies. But like I said, there's some that are still out there, you know, that's still going in. I know people are still, you know, traveling and staying in a lot of these, you know, Airbnbs and some of these special housings around or whatnot. So there's still a market for it.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, now it's time for my favorite question.
Okay.
So I'm a reader. We all like to learn around these parts. So I always like to ask what book or books have made a positive impact for you, and if you are not a reader, then how do you stay motivated, you know, during times you feel like you may want to give up? How do you keep yourself going?
I won't say I'm not a reader. I read books and I have read books. I don't read as often as I'm sure I could.
Thank you, Tamon.
But there's a couple. I guess, you know, like I said, and don't ask me authors' names and whatnot, but I guess, you know, one of the books I would say that I've always enjoyed, you know, was a good one that, you know, was impressionable on me was The Alchemist and the Four Agreements. You know, the Alchemist, you know, I'm an avid believer, you know, like I said, if you're walking your lane and walking your path in life or whatnot, and you're doing the right things and trying to do well, you know, the universe kind of helps you, you know, and conspires to help you get that way or whatnot. So I think that's a good one. you know, just trying to
Ebony
put my
is
book
bringing it
knowledge
out
out.
right now.
I'm having a moment. That's my favorite book of all
Really?
time. That's my Paulo
Hit one,
Coelho.
all right.
I have it on Audible. I have it on what's the one? The e-reader, Kindle.
Yeah.
I got it on paper. Phenomenal book. Follow your personal journey. Yeah.
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, that's what I would say, you know, those books, those I guess would be the ones that I would refer to. And I guess, you know, even I can, you know, like I said, answer another question, like I said, motive. I'm the type of person, like I said, I don't, you know, like I said, I'm typically easily motivated. I don't really believe in failure. I always feel like there's a solution to every problem. You know, I just got to figure out my way to get there, or whatnot. So, you know, like I said, when it comes to being motivated, I don't find myself wanting to give up. I just keep going. Like I said, if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you know, typically you end up reaching your goal. And again, it's your goal. Yeah.
So question, since you are self-motivated, as a broker who has to motivate a team, how do you motivate your team with that same energy?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think we broke up just a little bit.
So because you're self-motivated, not everyone's like that, right? As a broker who has to manage a team, how are you keeping your team motivated?
I think it's, you know, like I said, it's about creating that energy, right? You know, I think people, you know, energy is saying, like I said, kind of flows through different ones. So when I talk to my agents, and again, I have agents across the spectrum. I have an agent that I talk to probably 3 or 4 times a day, and I have an agent that I probably won't talk to but maybe once or twice a month. You know, if I'm reaching out to them or whatnot. But, you know, like I said, it's about carrying that same energy across the board, you know, like I said, keeping them encouraged, you know, when, you know, creating an environment where they all feel like they can thrive in. I think that's one of the things I've been kind of working on, you know, in our meetings or whatnot, sharing our experiences or whatnot, you know, like I said, hearing somebody else do something is typically motivation enough for the next person to be like, oh, I want to do that. Or whatnot, or I can't do that. Or, you know, I was almost there. Okay, let me just do this to get there, or whatnot. So I think creating that type of environment. And again, like I said, my goal with my brokerage, like I said, is growing organically. You know, with the people around me and, you know, people I come across and stuff like that. And I actually I'm enjoying that pace. It allows me to, you know, spend some personal time with them and everything, with all of my agents. And I think that is going to be, you know, it's key to what's kind of growing and keeping that energy going.
That's solid. That's solid. It's all about the energy, and keep that same energy, right? Don't expect things of people that you're not going to provide. So that's a solid leadership.
Exactly. Amen.
Yeah.
Okay, Courtney, you ready to do your thing?
This is so funny. Ebony and her intros, me and my rapids. Got it. So we do this last little segment to end the show. Rapid fire questions, just 3 questions. You're visiting us 3.
Okay.
I'm in real estate.
That's awesome.
All right. So music. Real fast. If you're going to your favorite construction, you know, assignment, and you want to get crunky hype, what music you listen to on the way?
Oh man, I'm eclectic. I go across the board. My daughter would say, you know, it just depends on the season. Rodeo season, I'm here in Houston, I'm jamming my country music. You know, here lately, just June 25th passed. So, you know, I've been jamming my screw lately. You know,
screwed.
I got good friends that put me on the music out of town. So there's, you know, I've been into the movement and everything else. So some new song, Bigger Picture by Lil Baby has been jamming in my head, you know, lately. So that's been keeping me crunk. But yeah, I'm all over the place when it comes to music. I can do a little bit of this and a little bit of that.
I like it. I did not know you were into country music.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I'm a country Houston Texan guy. That's me through and through. Absolutely.
All right. So when the pandemic is over and you can move around, or just something that you've always wanted to do, what's on your bucket list?
That's a good question. You know, I kind of flow free spirited. I kind of do what I like to do and what I want to do. You know, I have you know, absolutely when this COVID stuff kind of pandemic kind of goes away, there's some stuff, like some ideas and some visions I do have for meeting with my agents again and getting out and, you know, build again. I'm a year into building my brokerage. or whatnot. So, I have a pretty strong team of individuals around me. So I got some team building things and some ideas, for getting us out and maybe, doing some retreat type stuff. To, kind of maximize, our relationships and stuff like that. So those are short-term things that I've been thinking about. And of course, like I said, my family is itching to get out of the house. I know I am. My daughters are too. So look forward to taking them out and getting out of Houston for a little bit.
All right. And then the other genre, first I want to acknowledge that you just said you pretty much a free spirit and you do what you want to do. Wow. So COVID isn't going to stop you from doing.
I don't want to get me in trouble now.
Yeah, COVID isn't stopping you from doing what you want to do. So, hello. Yeah. All right. And then the next thing is just movies or, TV shows. It's something that you watch all the time, but if it comes on, you're not passing it up. It's your joint.
And my bad again, you kind of broke up on the end. I did hear movies.
The movie that you're not passing up, even though you've seen it a million times. Or show.
I know, like I said, my favorite movie of all time is Life. Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, man, that movie gets me going. When me and my brother can quote every line from that film. So yeah, that's definitely one that that movie. I can say I've fallen asleep to that movie many times in life. Absolutely. Watching
awesome.
That one.
That's the classic. That's the classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm the pappy. I'm the
baby pappy.
I'm the baby pappy.
I'm the baby pappy.
That's hilarious.
I love it. Well, no, Tamon, this has been so educational. I had some selfish questions up in there for real on the construction stuff too, but this has been really educational. That's our goal on this show, is just to educate and, build that wealth and just have everybody kind of learning, get your sip of wine or whatever your drink of choice is and get your notebook out. So we appreciate you joining us today and coming out. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. Absolutely, man. I love what you guys are doing. Real estate is definitely a path to wealth for a lot of people, and educating our community on some of those advantages through what you all are doing. Like I said, I'm thinking about watching some of y'all's podcasts. I'm thinking about investing in some other areas, getting some of those deals that's coming that people are getting out there, whatever. So it's definitely an educational experience, and I think it's a lot to learn from keeping up with you guys. So thank you all for having me on. I'm honored. Appreciate y'all thinking about me enough or whatnot. And, like I said, y'all got me out my comfort zone. I'm far back in my cubby hole here. And go on. So thank you guys.
Thank you,
Kim, and everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for being a listener, because I know you said you've listened to several episodes. So thank you for listening.
Absolutely. No doubt. Absolutely.
Like I said, reminded me. If you are listening, go ahead and review our show and give us a review so that we can keep our great guests coming on.
Yep. Review and like us. Like us on iTunes and Spotify. Both of them. Thanks.
Absolutely.
All of that.
All of them.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, Tamon. And have a great evening.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank y'all.
Bye.
All right. Bye.